as far as I'm concerned. They are disgusting. They are teaching a totally different doctrine here. The different regions of conscious dead, as Roman Catholics teach, supported by the Revised. King James, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book, referring to the beast, now that is, of the Lamb, slain from the foundations of the world. Here the Lamb was slain from the foundations of the world. The RSV, and all that dwell on earth will worship it, everyone whose names have not been written before the foundations of the world. Here it's the people whose names have been written before the foundations in the book of life of the Lamb. The King James in 1 Corinthians 15:3-4 says, he rose again on the third day. The Revised said, he hath been raised on the third day. What's the difference between the two? The difference is in the one, he has power within himself to rise from the dead, and in the other one, he gets raised because he's inferior to God. That's the difference. 1 Corinthians 11:24. Very interesting, the Mass. He broke it and he said, take, eat, this is my body which is broken, the RSV, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and said, this is my body which is for you, do this in remembrance of me. Now we have a host. We have a literal body. So this is Catholic doctrine, that is not. Christ is with us always, not in person, but by his Spirit. The Reviser's doctrine of the Incarnation, the Mass therefore makes unnecessary and destroys the truth that he shall come to the second time without sin unto salvation. Hebrews 9:28. Cardinal Wiseman exults that the revision movement vindicated the Catholic Bible. Look what he says. When we consider the scorn cast by the reformers upon the Vulgate and their recurrence in consequence to the Greek as the only accurate standard, we cannot but rejoice at the silent triumph which truth has at length gained over the clamorous error. For in fact, the principal writers who have avenged the Vulgate and obtained for it its critical preeminence are Protestants. Wow. I wonder whether they were Protestants. I think they were Jesuits disguised as Protestants, because that's what we saw in the previous lecture. And we have similar statements here from the Reverend Thomas. The brief examination which I've been able to make of the revised version of the New Testament has convinced me that the committee have labored with great sincerity and diligence, and that they have produced a translation much more correct than generally received amongst the Protestants. So he says, it is in line with the Catholic version and confirms the correctness of our Bible. There we go, so all these changes have been made. Catholic Magazine claims the revised version is the death knell of Protestantism. Protestantism is going to go. The destruction of their temple, the Shekinah departed from the Holy of Holies. So perhaps it is to be with the English Bible, the temple of Protestantism. It's going to be destroyed. It's going to go. The Reviders had a wonderful opportunity. They might have made a few changes, says the Protestant Journal, but they blew it. They destroyed it. One question I have for you. Is Jesus a liar? King James Version, John 7, verse 8. Go ye up into the feast. I go not up yet unto the feast, for my time is not yet full come. RSV, go to the feast yourselves. I'm not going up to this feast, for my time has not yet fully come. Here Jesus says, I'm not going, but he went. Here Jesus says, I'm not yet going, and then he went. So here he's telling the truth, and there's a liar. You choose whether you want Jesus to be a liar or whether you don't want him to be a liar. The greatest damage of all is when you take away the deity of Christ. And for that, we will wait for the next session. Thank you. Amen.